Yes, the main characteristic of the second half is that the two teams didn't maintain the intensity we have seen in the first half. We said at half time, the two teams had given a lot, and the second half was a bit more flat, more low-key, and very few chances. The pace of the game, the passing of the game, the incisiveness of the game had gone, and it was after who makes a mistake. And it's true that in the end Lukaku should not have been offside, that Pedro saved a header on a corner who could have made the decision for Man United, and in the end as well Higuain, who was as well a lot offside, had a final chance. He maybe should have crossed the ball for Hazard, and it was not the same quality than in the first half, and in the end the 1-1 is the right score in the second half. Well, I would say it was a coincidence of three main factors. First of all, he was a huge personality, Alex Ferguson, in the game, and his importance at the club and his quality, of course, was dominant. After that, I believe when he stopped, it was as well the end of a generation. And the end of a generation for me was coinciding with Ryan Giggs, you know. Exceptional players who came to an end. And the second thing, the buying, the recruitment policy was not successful. And the older generation was as well the spirit of Man United. So they lost the quality and the spirit because all these players were ready to die for Man United. Plus, the players they bought have not been all successful. And all these three things together show that it's not easy to keep continued success, you know. That's going in cycle. It's up and down. They spend a lot of money. They still have a lot of money. So they have, of course, a big job to do. What will be interesting in the summer for me is that you have many big clubs who will be out to buy players. And I think there will be more money than good players on the market. So it will not be easy to get it right, because you will have Real Madrid out there, you will have Bayern Munich out there, you have Paris Saint-Germain out there, you have Man United out there, you know, you will certainly have Arsenal out there, so, and Chelsea out there on the market. So there's more money than good players, and that will be the big problem for all the big clubs.
When you think about it, another game's gone, only two left, so Tottenham will be absolutely delighted.
From the top, City back on top today after their win at Burnley. Liverpool second at the points, 92 and 91 respectively. 70 Spurs, 2 points the gap then to Chelsea, 4 to Arsenal, and Manchester United with 65 from there, 36 played. Leicester taking 8th today after that win over the Gunners. So, much to discuss. We've also got the club on the way. Live football tonight from Spain for Andy Kerr. Winning 8 prior to Arsenal playing today, 1 winning 9. And then you include these two as separate entities.
Staggering, isn't it?
It's remarkable, isn't it?
I mean, you think, you know, top-class teams, right? And I know the league's extremely difficult, and we know there are no gimmies, but for those 4 teams to have those figures is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's very strange. It's sad to see. I mean, that's not what you expect from this top team.
To be fair, does it have anything to do with Tottenham and their concentration now in the Champions League, with Arsenal and Chelsea involved in Europa League games this week? All of them have been very kind matches to get to this stage, haven't they?
Richard, I think you've been extremely kind. I really do. I mean, you're talking about teams that throughout their history have been involved in European matches throughout the week, and they handle it. That's why they've got big squads. So I think they've been very, very kind. I just think it's poor performances. I mean, look at you know, Spurs against West Ham yesterday. West Ham, I always feel, are capable, right, of providing a shock somewhere along the line, if you would call it a shock. But I mean, Arsenal's away form, for example, has been absolutely dire. Dire. Manchester United, you know, 2 victories in 10 games. And that's 7 defeats. Incredible. Incredible statistic.
Although he'll look back on that and say, but for that late clearance off the line, we'd have won that today.
Yeah, and that would have maybe papered over things that that were evident there. They were nowhere near. If I tell you in the second half of a game that Manchester United need to win, and it's 1-1, that the whole team of Manchester United had 5 touches of the football in their penalty box, in Chelsea's penalty box. 5. And one of them was Rojo's header at the end. That's it. The whole team. Now, I'm sorry. That's not Manchester United. It's nowhere near Manchester United. It should not be considered good enough for Manchester United.
And in theory it would only have been 4 because she should have been off the park.
Yeah, that's true. He should have been off.
It was a horrendous tackle.
It was a horrendous tackle.
A terrible tackle. But Andy's spot on. I mean, we're talking about Manchester United here, right? Those figures are statistics.
Old Trafford.
Yeah, Old Trafford.
Yeah. That was a difficult place to go. I would like the club to give him what he's looking for. And then next year, after 5 games, 10 games, they should be better. You know, not 2 years, like he said, 2 more years. I think that after another pre-season, with the players that he wants to have, it should be enough. The problem is, again, without Hazard,
Wow.
That's a tough one.
Without Hazard, not a centre forward. 2 big voids.
It was a smile there in Hazard when they asked him about Champions League. He said Chelsea has to play, and then he said, me too, I would like to play.
Gus knows he speaks to Jan Franco. Here's Brendan Rodgers.
You fancied them, didn't you?
You fancied
French
them.
Cup.
They're the lunch bait.
Did you not fancy them yesterday?
The fake news. Fake news. I'm not having that.
I thought Paris won it before playing.
Well, they should have done. They were 2 up as well, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
After 20 minutes. Hi.
So, 1 win in 11 between them, because it was 1 win in 8
Yes.
prior to Arsenal playing today, 1 win in 9, and then you include these 2 as separate entities.
Staggering, isn't it?
It's remarkable, isn't it?
I mean, you think, top class teams, right? And I know the league's extremely difficult, and we know there are no gimmies, but for those 4 teams to have those figures is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's very strange. It's sad to see. I mean, that's not what you expect from this top 10.
To be fair, does it have anything to do with Tottenham and their concentration now in the Champions League, with Arsenal and Chelsea involved in Europa League games this week? All of them
I
have
think they've been very
playing
kind.
matches to get to this stage, haven't they?
Richard, I think you've been extremely kind. I really do. I mean, you're talking about teams that throughout their history have been involved in European matches throughout the week, and they handle it. That's why they've got big squads. So I think they've been very, very kind. I just think it's poor performances. I mean, look at Spurs against West Ham yesterday. West Ham, I always feel, are capable, right, of providing a shock somewhere along the line, if you would call it a shock. But I mean, Arsenal's away form, for example, has been absolutely dire. Dire. Manchester United, 2 victories in 10 games. I mean, that's
7 defeats.
incredible statistic.
Although he'll look back on that and say, but for that late clearance off the line, we'd have won that today.
Yeah, and that would have maybe papered over things that that were evident there. They were nowhere near. If I tell you in the second half of a game that Manchester United need to win, and it's 1-1, that the whole team of Manchester United had 5 touches of the football in their penalty box, in Chelsea's penalty box. 5. And one of them was Rojo's header at the end. That's it. The whole team. Now, I'm sorry. That's not Manchester United. It's nowhere near Manchester United. It should not be considered good enough for Manchester United.
And in theory it would only have been 4 because she should have been off the park.
Yeah, that's true. He should have been off.
It was a horrendous tackle.
It was a
actually,
horrendous
wasn't it?
tackle.
A terrible tackle. But Andy's spot on. I mean, we're talking about Manchester United here, right? Those figures